Good evening, everybody. This is Political Hot Seat. This is a live call-in show at 727-8750. Tonight, I do have a guest. It is Commissioner Butch Borasky, who is running for re-election, but he needs to get one vote. So everybody, one of you go out there and vote for him.
We ain't supposed to be talking about that.
Okay. Anyway, tonight what we're going to be discussing is the statewide ballot questions. And Mr. Borasky has brought it to my attention that we have some statewide ballot questions, which I'm just overly thrilled to discuss with everyone. So if you have an opposing opinion on it, please call in and tell us. We're at 727-8750. Also tonight, Vern wanted me to tell everybody he does have a radio station up here at 95.9. I forget what the letters are for it, but it's a new radio station for the Pahrump to Tonopah area. So anyway, welcome, Butch.
Well, welcome,
Thanks
Bill.
for coming in, and we got these statewide ballot questions. And,
it's always a pleasure to work with you. Let's start out with state ballot question number 1. Amendment to the Nevada Constitution, Senate Joint Resolution number 14 of the 76th session. Shall the Nevada Constitution be amended to create a court of appeals that would decide appeals of district court decision in certain civil and criminal cases?
Just certain ones.
Just certain ones. Now, a yes vote would create a court of appeals within the existing court system. Another layer of government. What do you think of that?
Well, another layer of government, well, first off, the government's way too big to begin with. And if it's going to cost 1 penny, 1 dime, or anything, no, I don't think anything of it.
Okay. Well, then a no vote would retain the existing court system. What do you think of that?
Well, I wish we could even modify that a little bit, but I think we retain the court system we got today. We don't cost the people anything extra. I think we all pay too much the way it is.
What about fixing what we have?
Well, that sounds like a win.
New.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
We can fix it at no cost.
Okay. Okay, here's a fiscal note. Okay, I'm going to give this to you a little at a time so we can hash it out. Fiscal note. The Administrative Office of Court has indicated that this ballot measure creating a court of appeals will require operating expense of approximately $800,000 in 2015.
Oh, well, that's
okay.
That's good.
And then it says a little further down, therefore, no additional funding beyond that, which has already been approved, would be necessary for the operation of the Court of Appeals. Do you believe that one?
No, well, I don't believe anything they say because they always have an out. Remember, lawyers write most of this up, so they know the little behind the scenes thing. When you say $800,000, I wouldn't vote for anything that cost us $8, let alone $800,000. So.
All right. Well, there's got another little paragraph here. The Administrative Office of the Court has indicated that ongoing costs for the administration of a Court of Appeals, if approved by the voters, if approved, would be approximately $1.5 million a year. It is not known at this time, however, whether the legislature or the governor would choose to provide this funding from the state general fund or from other sources. Fat chance of that one.
Well, yeah, once again, like I've said it on the show many a times, I'm a very much anti-tax, fee, excise, or anything like that, money that the government wants to take from the people.
Well,
and so, you mentioned 800,000, but then you pop up with 1.5 million.
Yeah,
well, that increases it almost, what, double?
Just about.
So,
okay, well, that's...
Anytime they get in our pockets, they do it.
Yeah. Well, that's ballot question number 1. Now, if anybody out there would like a copy of what I have, it's far more detail than what this says right here. I don't know if you got that on your screen? Okay. Well, this here says, this is one page of the voters' ballot package, and it said, question 1, consideration is state Nevada, blah, 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 yes or no. Well, you got about 12 pages here of gobbledygook.
Pros and cons.
Pros and cons of why to do that. And I think I've got to agree with you, Bill. This is just another layer of government that we don't really
Well, once
need.
again, if there's anybody out there watching and wants to call in at 727-8750, you can support our position on it or you could be against it. That's why we vote. My suggestion on question number 1 is an absolute no, because it gives the government a way to impose another tax or fee on us. And that's
Yeah, and again, my comment would be, why don't we fix what we already have instead of adding another layer to it? I know that the system we have isn't perfect, but again, when you add more layers of government, more layers of restrictions, the numbers they give you initially may be 800,000. We talked right after that, it says 1.5 million to keep it going.
Yeah.
And that maybe they would take that, no way they're going to take it out of the general fund. Those guys up there need that money in that general fund to spend for whatever
Whatever they want to
whatever
spend.
projects they want to spend it for. To me, since I've been in office, and we're really not here to talk about that, but I don't want to add more taxes and more taxes and more taxes. I'm against it myself. I think we have to live within our means, and for them to keep saying that they need more money, when they're only in session, 3 months out of every 2 years. Okay.
Right. Well, it's easy for them because they just, it doesn't seem that it comes out of their pocket. And the thing is, it comes out of everybody that works pocket.
Right.
And it comes out of every business's pocket. And so they can turn around and say, well, we screwed up, and it's not going to be 800,000, it's going to be 1.5. No, let's make it 2.4. I mean, you know. And so, anyway, we do have a caller on the line, and that's Stephanie.
Okay, good.
And go ahead, Stephanie. I can't hear Stephanie.
Hey, Bill. Thank you for having him on, and he stole my word. I've been using the word gobbledygook for 12 or 14 years, and I thank him very much for it, because it is all gobbledygook. You could call it something else like BS, or, you know, and like, I agree with you totally, Bill. If it takes another cent out of our pockets, I think the court system already has their methods of appealing and everything. We do not need another layer of government. And thank you for using my word gobbledygook. I really appreciate that, because that pretty much says it all.
Okay, where are you and Butch from? What part of the country?
Talk to you later.
Thank you, Stephanie, for calling. Well, we got a supporter there anyway.
I'm from Nevada. I don't know where you're from. I mean, I used to live in upstate New York, but...
Well, I lived in northern Iowa, but I lived out by what they called the Wapsie, and so I did learn what kittywampus means, and I did learn pure near and darn near and things like that.
Well, I lived up on the mountain overlooking the big city, so I might have been born in the city, but I've been a country boy all my life.
We were overlooking the groundhog holes. I mean, you know, that's great. But anyway, we had a caller on that. Now, if anybody opposes it or you have a good argument for it, go right ahead, call in at 727-8750. Because you're probably going to hear, if I'm asked, I'm going to be very biased one way on most of these bills. And of course, I've always been fair on this show for both sides. So please do call in at 727-8750. And there is a new radio show in town, and it's 95.9 KACP Radio FM. And that's coming to you from... I guess Vern. I mean, I don't know who's bringing it here, but anyway, it's here. But anyhow.
Well, you know, there's one factor that maybe some people in the Pahrump Valley don't really know, that over 50% of the people in the valley are on some kind of public assistance or another. It's not a rich community by any means, although there are some people here that do quite well, but the additional cost to each taxpayer for something like this, for something they probably never use, by the way, most of them. And to me, When we got people that rely on other people to donate food, some public agencies that do other things too, it's really not a good time to be asking for money. Now, if they want a lot of money, they should go down to Vegas and talk to those folks. But why they want us to vote for something like this that's going to cost, that's going to come out of everybody's pocket, obviously, one way or another, it's really sad. But if we want to move on to question 2, we're going to go to something a little bit different. You ready for that?
Well, we need people to call in on question 1. Go ahead.
Okay.
Question 1's still live. We're going to go to question 2. We don't got that many questions here, so.
Yeah, we can always go back when somebody calls in.
Okay.
Question 2 is amendment to the Nevada State Constitution, Senate Joint Resolution 15 of the 76th session. Shall Nevada Constitution be amended to remove the cap on the taxation of minerals and other requirements and restrictions relating to the taxation, there's that word again, of mines, mining claims, minerals, and the distribution of money collected under such taxation? What do you think of that?
Well, you said one word that's very bad to me to begin with a couple of times there, and that's taxation. Anything to do with taxes, I'm absolutely against. What I love about this, shall the Nevada Constitution be amended? You know what, folks? I think there's been too many amendments to too many constitutions, especially the Constitution of the United States. I don't think we need to amend anything. I don't think we need to raise these taxes. The government's got to work within itself. It can't be just every time we screw up and we spend $1 too much and we go on a vacation over to Singapore, we need to tax the people more.
Okay.
I don't want to pay the taxes on it. I'm sure that the mines don't want to pay the taxes on it. Let's put people to work and not tax them.
Well, there's a lot of explaining to do on this one. This one is definitely more complicated. This ballot measure would repeal existing provisions of the Nevada Constitution that impose requirements, restrictions related to taxation of mines, mining, and so on and so forth. Right now, the Nevada Constitution exempts mines and mining claims from real property tax under certain patented mining claims, okay? And it also requires a tax on net proceeds of all minerals extracted, so they're already taxing it in a different way, including ores, minerals, oil, gas, hydrocarbons, geothermal, and other substances. Okay, so rather than read all of this, we'll jump over to here to a yes vote. Would remove provisions of the Nevada Constitution that impose a cap on the taxation of the minerals, and would remove other constitutional requirements and restrictions of the taxation of mines, mining claims, minerals, and the distribution of money collected for such taxation. A no vote would keep the provisions.
Just a second. Can we go to this break and we'll be right back after these messages? And you pick up right there.
You got it.